And here we go! Spawning into the bottom right-hand corner of the Century de Ire LE. He is the purple Protoss Pieces, known as Jesterhat. Now he goes by other names too, like Santa Hat and... I guess that's it. Just Hat. Alright, Santa Hat and Jesterhat. Now, across the map, we do have his opponent, the red Protoss Pieces of Cyan. We do have a bit of a PvP, so that was good. Alrighty. This is, a bit of a change up. Okay, forgive me if I mispronounce anybody's names. Some names are incredibly weird. And trying to pronounce them, especially if they're from like an EU pronunciation, make it incredibly difficult. But with that, we are just going to have ourselves a little bit of a PvP on Ascension Iron. Now, we have Gateway Gas, so now PvP generally goes into Adept versus like two Adepts, across the map either way. Schedule a premiere to autocast unpublished videos? Interesting. Twitch trying to make the dreams happen by renaming words on your website. Anyway. Do get to scout off here for 2 probes on both sides of the map. Go over here to see what's up in each other's base and be like, hey, this looks familiar. Looks like my base, except a different color. It's like, go away! Jesterhat's still going to get over here and just poke around a bit. And, all in all, what makes this incredibly interesting to watch in PvP is just how people react to the mirror match. Because mirror match of PvP is one thing that's always very interesting in terms of which way text transition. Nice pylon block there from the Jester. Getting in here, making sure he can keep that closed off. So not much scouting is going to get done by this probe. He does get in here to see basically everything either way. Just he's able to tuck in between his 2 gateways there. As soon as the Cybernetics Core is done, he is going to go ahead and cancel that pylon for warping in. 2 Adepts are going to start up. Yeah, you might want to just finish that pylon, huh? I mean, you're kind of supply block anyway. That Jesterhat, not sure where he wants to build buildings anymore. But Cyan does opt for 2 Zealots? I don't think that's what you want here, mate. I mean, we do have a probe going up and throwing down a pylon up in the top right-hand corner, but I imagine this is going to be for some Stargate? I mean, he could easily have a Dark Shrine up here, but never go scouted for quite a while. We do have a Stargate for Jester. This does open up a bit of detection, so he does have Revelation he can use to scout his, for invisible DT units. Dark Shrine on the way for Cyan, however. So all in all, everything looking pretty standard for both sides. And up in the top right corner, we do have another gateway. Now, I imagine he's going to throw a Dark Shrine. There it is. A Dark Shrine is on the way. And this is a bit of a cheeky play all in all. So both players go for the kind of a silly transition. And we do see exactly where this tech does start to diverge almost immediately. Now, this is a 1 base play for Cyan, so he's going to be able to get up here with some Dark Shrine, DTs. And this is probably going to catch Jester completely off guard, because, the only thing he has for detection is his Oracle that's probably going to get sent across the map. And the fact that Jester is just going to go ahead and move out. A couple of Depths, a couple of Stalkers. Now that Oracle is going to wind up joining in with this aggression. And now the DTs, once they do get warped in here, are going to make that long walk to Mordor. I mean, the Jesterhat's base. Is that Mordor? Is Jesterhat Mordor? Anyway. Anyway, the Depths are going to get up here and find that there is an army in waiting. And he goes, oh, snap, gotta turn around and go home. Anyway, this Oracle going to make their way across the map, and this is exactly what it's talking about. The mirror match is such an awkward situation. We do have some Zealots making their way down from the south or north, taking these hobbits to Isengard. Here we go. We do have Stalkers going to get chased down. Kind of in an awkward position here as these Zealots are posturing up outside the front. And when this Stalker gets up here and sees this, it's going to be one of his, oh. Hey, why are you guys here? Hello. What can I do for you today? So Stalker is just going to have to run all the way back up top. Now, a Void Ray would be absolutely beautiful here. Where's this Oracle? The Oracle's just kind of hanging out across the map. If he Chrono Boosted out of Void Ray right now, he'd be able to shut this down very easily. But now that the DTs are here, and the only means of detection is across the map, which is this Oracle, I don't see what Jesterhat's going to be able to hold on here for this game. I mean, Oracle's still awkwardly hanging out. Oracle floating awkwardly at the far side of the map. Means, yeah, this tech is going to die. Gotta fight a Shrouding Dark Templar with probes. And there's no detection here. GG going to get called out. And that's going to be it for game number 1. I mean, already a very crazy startup to this series. This looks like a good one. This looks like a good one. Let's get game number 2 out here. Between Cyan and Jesterhat once again. This time they're going to go to the Catalyst. And here we go in the bottom right hand corner, currently down 1-0 in the series. He is the purple Protoss Pieces from Lost in Translation. He goes by the name of Jesterhat. And in the top left hand corner, his opponent, pulling off some cheeky DT shenanigans on one base, the red Protoss Pieces of Cyan. So as we move into game number 2 here, we'll have to see exactly what Jester has in store to bounce back in this series. If he bounces back to this series, or will it wind up being a 2-0? That is what we will have to wait and see. We do have very standard builds already coming out from each other. So both players is playing a very standard game. They did wish GLHF, so both players, you know, respecting each other in that regard. Now, Catalyst LE, while we have some time. Rocks here. Rocks. Oh, rocks. 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 Hey, what? Rocks. So there's rocks all around this map. And these rocks do open up and close off the map quite a bit. I mean, you do kind of sacrifice expanding down here to this low ground. This is why I like this map. This map is a very balanced map all in all. It's like Interloper got stretched out and made more rectangular. And now you have Catalyst LE. No expansion yet from either player once. I said no expansion just yet from either side coming out. Both players looking to do some similar shenanigans. 2 gateways coming out here. So Cyan looking very standard so far in terms of what he did last game. Now, standard in the series has already been thrown out the window, so it's like he is going to opt for an expansion this time around. But now, will Jesterhat go ahead and throw the, throw that punch back the other way and say, hey, mate, you cheese me, I'll cheese you right back. Now, one thing that is not out for Cyan right now is a second gateway. He does opt for a Stargate. So stealing each other's builds here. I like it. All right, we're going to get somewhere with this game, with this series. 2 adepts are on the way. Now these adepts are going to immediately be sent out across the map. They're going to go out there, do some scouting, do a little bit of economic damage. Jesterhat looking like he wants to get a wall off for a low ground pylon set up here, for Nexus reasons. And they're off to the races. Now, also, Jesterhat going to go ahead and get himself a Stargate. So again, both these builds are looking very, very similar. With the lack of an expansion for Jester. Jester! Get your expansion up, please. Build a base. Do it. Do it. Build a base. Hey, probes. You forgot a building. Anyway, yeah, this duck is going to be able to get in here, and he's going to ignore that probe. Just heading out across the map. Might have been the biggest mistake ever. There is a Stalker here to try and catch these adepts. These adepts are just going to shade toward the natural. Go ahead and pick up 2 probe kills. Make that 3. Maybe he's going to shade up into the main. Now this Stalker is going to wind up giving chase. Oracle does pop out. These Stalkers just got completely juked. Now Jester can get in here and start finding quite a bit of economic damage. Once we look, the probe kills are just slowly racking up. There's 9. 10. 11. And he could have just finished. I think he got a little spooked about where the stalkers were. So he just kind of overreacted there. Now he's just walking back up to the main. Now there is an Oracle in the natural base as well, also picking up some kills. Now, one thing about not having an expansion right away is you don't have to defend at 2 different locations. So you're just kind of long distance mining. And you're going to be able to get in here. Now this Oracle, actually, shield battery's OP, mate. That Oracle just burnt like so much energy trying to kill one probe. The shield battery's like, yeah, I got you. Don't worry about it. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, these adepts still continue to clean house and finally do get cleaned up. Oracle on the way back home as well for Jester with 9 kills. A total of 21 probes so far have been killed and an Oracle. GG going to get called out, and just like that, Jesterhat ties the series up. And this is looking like a very quick 3-game series here. If we're going to go ahead and move into game number 3. Where we are going to go to Abyssal Reef. And now on Abyssal Reef, it is tied 1-1. Both players on their ace point here. And top left-hand corner of Abyssal Reef plays host to our purple Protoss pieces from Lost in Translation. He goes by the name of Jesterhat. And in the bottom right-hand corner, the red Protoss pieces. Just X. He goes by the name of Cyan. I don't know what's keeping Jester out of plat. I mean, honestly, he plays really solid. Should be at least plat 2 right now, but he's still down in gold. It'd be nice to see exactly what he, why he can't make platinum. Or why he isn't making platinum. Anyway, we do have Jester sending out a very quick probe here. Again, gateway at the top of the ramp, gas, everything looking pretty standard for both players. Not a whole lot to report on. We do have a second gas on the way for Cyan. A little bit faster than Jester. There we go. Second gas on the way. But now, I gotta check into Buddy again. Early game, this is never anything going on. Hey, where's he at? Did he move already? He moved already. He's not here. Does he spawn to different locations? Dude, he's not here. He swam away. No. Oh, there he is. Or is it a she? 2018, you can't assume genders. As we come back into the game here, we do have Cybernetics Core on the way for both players. Now, we do have a proxy pylon for Jesterhat. I just don't know. I don't know what he's got in store for us. It's going to be Robo. It's going to be Robo. I bet it's Robo. My vote is on Robo, chat. Let's see what he has in store. We do have Cybernetics Core finishing up here for Cyan. Means there's going to be a couple of depths starting up. Now this probe of Jester is selected. We do have a proxy Stargate. It's amazing how everybody in JSL is starting to proxy each other. Or they play macro, and then they proxy. You got the cheese, and then you got the macro. The macaroni and cheese. Now this probe is getting a full scout of this base. He should realize something is missing. There was no second pylon on the first wraparound of this base, and there's no expansion. Which means there's something up. So now, your reaction here should be to go ahead and drop a couple stalkers. You have sentries on the way. They do shoot up, but do they do enough damage to kill an Oracle? I do not believe they do. The Oracle's very brittle, but they can just fly away. And it's a Void Ray from Jester. Again, this is still be a very, very keen sign that something is missing across the map. Like, something was very off here. Your opponent didn't expand, you know, so you're missing information. This is just going to be a build order loss if this does go well for Jester. Now, Jester could also easily get shut down here with, say, a couple of stalkers being built, and, you know, that would be the end of that. Probe does get picked off there. This stalker trying to find a little bit more damage. This should just stay alive. He might pick up a second probe. He wants the probe. He's trying to get the probe. Instead, he's focusing a pylon. So Depths are going to go ahead and shoot him away. Now, there's no reason to really get chased to this Stalker. It's just one Stalker down here on the low ground. What really matters is how many Void Rays are you going to have to deal with. The Void Rays are on the way. We do have Probe kind of hanging out. He knows something's up. He suspects something. He just didn't scout in the right direction. And this is going to be quite the surprise when these Void Rays show up in your base. Void Rays. Jester going to get here and start frying down some of these probes. Now, these Stalkers can very easily deal with these, especially when Prismatic they don't have Blink. Sentry's, however, going to turn on that Guardian Shield to try to soak up some of that damage. Stalker also going to get turned on. Prismatic alignment about to run out here, but this is going to be more than enough here just to clean this up. Now, what you really need here is Stalkers. You need more Stalkers. You have 3 gateways. Build some Stalkers. Warp Gate should be back online here for these gateways as well. Yeah, they're back up and running, so you can go ahead and warp in a few more Stargate or Stalkers as well. So all in all, Jesterhat really finding some damage here with this aggression, and he is building more Void Rays still. Now he is expanding behind this. Although he does not have this base saturated just yet. He needs to go ahead and get some probes down there. You know, maybe a little bit of probe transfer out of the main there. These Stalkers are going to finally clean up the last of these Void Rays. Now, he could have recalled those 2 Void Rays out there and stayed alive. This probe does finally find the expansion, or the proxy. And now this also puts Jester in a really awkward position. Because what does he have back home to defend? He has 1 gateway. Slow of building Stalkers. Warp Gate just now started up. He's not chrono boosting the Warp Gate tech. Setting on another pylon. So he really doesn't have a whole lot of back home to defend with. So this is a bit of a situation where Cyan should just go. I mean, you know your opponent isn't going to have a whole lot. So this is where you should just go ahead and march across the map. And just start, throwing some damage back the other way. Especially once you get out of here and unpower this Stargate. He can't build any more air units. Jester throwing down 4 more gateways. And oh no, like this in the end, I don't think Jester got enough done to really he really didn't get a whole lot done there. He killed 5 probes and 3 Stalkers and did a couple sentries, sure, so he got a little bit more of a trade, but in the end, it's costing him just about the same amount in terms of resources lost. To really say, yeah, oh, okay, well, I gotta go home and I'm slightly behind because I wasn't macroing behind this. So at this point in the game, Jesterhat did just chrono boost out a lot of probes, so he did get caught right back up in that probe count, and now this game is basically stabilized out. I feel Cyan missed a really good timing there, but he could just march across the map and honestly just kill Jester flat out. And that's some of those situations that a lot of players who just don't take advantage of that, and just to win the game, they just want to play it out. I understand that. And I have to respect for that, but at the same time, it's a bit of a misread. And honestly, misreads like that are what will kind of lose you games. I mean, there's 1 Void Ray to a handful of Stalkers. We do have an Immortal out now. So this Immortal will be able to start finding quite a bit of damage. Now, Upgrades advantage is coming into play, and Cyan is going to go ahead and macro up. It's kind of funny. Like, this series has been, here's a cheese, now we're going to stabilize out. And just play a macro game. Really interesting how that turned out to be. We reached the 8-minute mark. In the first game, we didn't make past the 8-minute mark, 7-minute mark, I do believe. And the second game, the same thing happened. But now we're just at this situation where both players just want to play a macro game. In game number 3. So, wanting to play safe. Wanting to make sure they don't let anything really catch them off guard. Jester is catching up very quickly in these upgrades. Cyan also going at the +1. He has a Robo out as well. So he is building Immortals. Now, in Cyan's position, I like his position a lot more with this type of army. Because there's only a handful of Stalkers here. And Immortals do a lot of damage against Stalkers. But there's also the Void Ray. So the Void Ray can easily just, take care of these Immortals very easily. But there's a lot of Stalkers here to take care of the Void Ray. So it's a bit of a toss-up of the way this goes. Blink is on the way for Jester with a Warp Prism, so we are seeing him wanting to move out here very shortly. There's also a Dark Shrine coming into play in the natural, so he is going to have a bit of a cheeky tech swap here as well. You know, keeping the cheekiness going throughout the game. Cyan, you know, just now getting his third base up and running. Jester's just now finishing up since you can't Chrono Boost Nexus or Nexi. Couple idle probes there. He's going to get them straightened back out, get them mining again. And again, this game, all in all, has just really just stabled out to be a very equal game. And it turned into a 10-minute macro game. Now, one of these players should go ahead and move out here, I would imagine. So we are sitting equal army supplies, slightly in favor of Jester. Now, we'd like to see him bring a couple of DTs with him. So I do not believe there's one observer on the map, and it's Jester. So Jester usually just throw down some DTs, and Cyan would just get completely caught off guard here. As this is not much else really going on. A couple idle probes here in the main for Cyan. Just Cyan got going. He just finished up a Twilight Council. He's getting +2 in charge. When as Jester getting charged with +2, he's getting +1 armor. So now the armor upgrade here, I do like Cyan's decision to get this armor upgrade because his armor upgrade actually can take care of a lot of the DPS that comes out at +2. So it kind of just knocks that +2 upgrade back down to a +1. And can kind of help you out in the long run, or in the short run there. A couple of DTs getting warped in here, and Jester going to go ahead and move out, just like we were expecting, you know. Got some Blink Stalkers, he's got some DTs. Blink just now starting up here for Cyan, and we do have the Twilight Council, or Templar Archives on the way. So he is also going up to a 4th base here. Now this is a bit of a misread on the situation. Your opponent just moved out across the map, and you have no idea where he's at, or what is on the map. But here we go, Jester going to get up here and knock down these rocks. He wants to make sure he has enough room to walk up this ramp. There are DTs in the mix, and with no observer here, these DTs are good. Might just win them the game flat out here because there's no detection for Cyan on the map. Here we go, as both players do just kind of posture up. Jester going to rotate around and go after this 4th base instead. On that attack move, he's going to be able to start to march forward. Cyan going to have to reposition here and defend his 3rd. Does cancel the 4th. Couple probes here are going to get picked off. Now here we go, the first actual fight. DT's getting warped in here at the front. There's still some loaded up in that Warp Prism. Need to get them unloaded. The Dark Templar in the front line here just doing a ton of damage, actually. This is actually just chewing right through it. GG going to get called out as Cyan realizes what exactly happened there. And Jester is going to close this series out 3-2. Well played, Jesterhat. And well earned, good sir. Now,